Hello, and welcome back to A Real Horror Show. Last week I made a video showcasing a handful of upcoming horror collectibles from various companies, including multiple figure announcements from Neca Toys. And if you haven't seen that video and you're a horror collector, I highly recommend going and checking that one out. And as you may remember, one of the figures featured was the newly announced 18-inch talking Beetlejuice that will be shipping sometime in September. This, coupled with the fact that the new movie will be hitting theatres very shortly, led to me and many other horror collectors to speculate as to whether we're going to see more Beetlejuice collectibles, perhaps even an ultimate figure in the near future. And well, Neca have just given us the answer. As on Friday, Neca revealed that we'll shortly be getting not only one, but two figures of the Ghost with the Most, based on his appearance in the original 1988 Tim Burton classic. Both figures will be coming in blister card packaging and are accompanied by a couple of accessories. But despite the excitement that comes along with the idea of getting brand new Beetlejuice collectibles from Neca, a lot of people are not happy, and shared a reaction that's similar to something like this. Nice f***ing model! I've got quite a few thoughts and feelings to share myself about this new announcement, so without further ado, let's take a closer look at Neca's new, upcoming Beetlejuice figures.
It's showtime.
So let's begin by taking a look at these figures in more detail, starting with Beetlejuice in his iconic striped suit attire. Of course, this is the outfit that the bio-exorcist is most famous for, and the one he is usually always depicted to be wearing. The figure features 8 points of articulation, which I assume is in the feet, hands and arms, and waist and the head. And overall, the figure has a great likeness to the legend that is Michael Keaton. Also included with this figure is two accessories, which are a red snake and the handbook for the recently deceased. The figure comes in classic cardback clamshell packaging, which is really wonderfully designed. I love how instead of having a standard rectangle shape, the backing card is very angular, which is very reminiscent of Tim Burton's work, and of course the German Expressionism movement in cinema that inspired Burton. The colours also just scream Beetlejuice, and the sandworm wrapping around the packaging is also a really nice touch. Now looking at the second figure, we have once again Beetlejuice, but this time he's sporting his wedding attire from the film's final act. The red tuxedo is very well sculpted and detailed, from the ruffles on the shirt down to the very swanky white boots. Similar to the first figure, Beetlejuice features the same 8 points of articulation, the same packaging and seemingly the same head sculpt. Oh, and he also comes with a green variant of the snake as well as the handbook for the recently deceased. Beetlejuice in his striped suit is scheduled to be released sometime next month in August, and the red tuxedo variant is planned to hit shelves sometime in October. Now, my thoughts and feelings in regards to this new announcement. First of all, I just want to remind you guys of something I more or less predicted in the last video, and it more or less sums it all up. It seems like the Cult Classics line is getting a bit of a revival. Well, here we are. So to get the sandworm out of the room, yes, both of these figures, just like the upcoming 18-inch talking Beetlejuice, are clearly re-releases of the original Beetlejuice figures from Neca's Cult Classic line. Specifically, Cult Classic Series 7 Beetlejuice from 2008 and the red tuxedo variant from the same year, which is the one that I happen to own in my own horror collection. And people are not happy about this, to say the least, and I am also quite disappointed overall with this new announcement. The main reason being, like most people, I was really hoping that if we happen to receive a new Beetlejuice figure from Neca, it would be in the ultimate figure form with a completely new sculpt from head to toe, as well as a modern figure body with all the articulation and a load of accessories to go along with him. And by the way, I love the look of the new Hannibal Lecter figure because although it's a Cult Classics reissue, that one works really well as a statue piece. This is mainly because he comes with that whole diorama jail cell display, and he overall looks fantastic, especially when you consider the completely brand new head sculpts with the up-to-date paint jobs as well. But for me personally, there's just not enough going on with these upcoming Beetlejuice releases, and I guess the main word here is, well, it's just very underwhelming. Now I've got to say, I think these figures do look great, and same goes for when they were first released back in 2008. Those figures still hold up today, but I feel like we could have just got so much more from this, especially in the accessories department. I mean, when it comes to Beetlejuice, there's just so much you can do with with that character. In addition to the snake and the handbook for the recently deceased, which is an absolute necessity for a Beetlejuice figure, he could have also come with his 𝙆𝙀𝙀𝙀𝘋 magazine ad, or even his gravestone to make a sort of diorama display. Even the Lecter reissue had that going for him, but what I find really disappointing is the fact that both figures come with the exact same accessories too. Even if they switched out one of the handbooks for something new and different, that would have helped these figures massively instead of them just coming with the exact same stuff. In fact, the original red tuxedo Beetlejuice that I have here includes a tiny severed finger accessory with the wedding ring attached, and that's not included with this reissue. And even though it's only a tiny, and I mean tiny thing, we're still getting less with this new figure. Now, in Neca's defense, they have specifically stated, and I quote, "This is a return to the Neca Cult Classics line." So it's not like they're trying to pass these off as brand new figures. And also, as I previously mentioned, the new packaging design is really nice. Although I do have a lot of nostalgia for the original Cult Classics packaging, and that still looks the best in my personal opinion. The head sculpt for these figures has also stood the test of time remarkably well. 16 years later, and this sculpt still has a fantastic likeness to the great Michael Keaton, and also captures his character perfectly. However, from comparing product images of the new figures and the original Cult Classic releases, there's something about the paintwork of the originals that I find myself gravitating towards. I just feel like the paint apps on the originals look better. And this goes for the upcoming 18-inch re-release too. And well, that's also a bit of a downer, to be honest. And now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Neca. And like most horror collectors, I'm a big supporter of the company and all the collectibles that they produce. It only takes viewing just one of my videos or even looking around this collection room to know that I have a lot of love and respect for Neca. But this is just one of those really odd times where, well, it just isn't the one. And at the end of the day, the fact that people are upset about this announcement and were expecting much more, it only shows just how much collectors hold Neca in high regard. I think a big reason why this is so disappointing is because it's Beetlejuice, and there's so much potential there and so many things that you can do with that character. As previously mentioned, some tweaks here and there and some extra added accessories or even a diorama display would have gone such a long way here. But also, all of us were really hoping to get a Beetlejuice figure in the Ultimate figure form, in the Ultimate Collector's Box packaging, with a completely new articulated body and sculpt, and a boatload of accessories. The thing is, you can almost picture how that release would look, and it would be incredible. Just imagine if he came with the handbook, the gravestone, the 𝙆𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 ad, and also interchangeable long arms with the hammer hands, and an alternate head with the merry-go-round on top. Now that would be a magnificent release. And this reminds me, I really need to make a video talking about my own horror figure wish list and horror figure concepts. That's something I can definitely do soon. You guys let me know if that's something that you would like to see. And maybe, just maybe, there will be an ultimate version of Beetlejuice in the pipeworks to coincide with this new movie. But at the moment, things aren't looking so good. A retro cloth release of Beetlejuice would also be an absolute dream too. With Neca's head sculpt and tailoring quality being as fantastic as it is these days, there is no doubt that the figure would be an absolute knockout. So I guess this leaves us with another question, which is, are Neca planning on reissuing more figures from the original Cult Classics line? And I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens. San Diego Comic-Con is just around the corner now, and I'm sure that Neca will have a lot more announcements and reveals in store for us. For the people who missed out on and don't own the original Cult Classics releases of these figures, I guess this is a great opportunity for you guys to pick them up. But if we are going to get more Cult Classics reissues in the future, I really hope that going forward they are done better and are an upgrade of the originals, because otherwise you might as well find and purchase the original releases. And unfortunately, I think that's the case here for Beetlejuice. But what are your guys' thoughts on this announcement from Neca? Will you be adding Beetlejuice to your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like this video and slash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time guys, take care.